Hey guys, it's Shay with Shay's Urban Edibles. Today I wanted to take you guys along while I set up an easy irrigation system. Come along. Alright, so currently I have a couple of beds that are already set up on an irrigation system. I am using soaker hoses rather than that complicated irrigation system where you have to buy all the tubing and the other parts that go to it. I opted for something a little more simple. With this one, it takes a couple of batteries. All you do is set your zone. There's zone 1 and zone 2. You set the time that you want it to water and how long you want it to water, and then how often, which is in days. I've already set this up to water every day around 30 minutes. I may have to increase that because I know the temperatures are about to be increasing here. And so I'm gonna set my second zone up. My stuff is starting to struggle because I'm not watering it long enough. Because right now I have it set up on 30 minutes. I may end up doing it for 45 minutes, but I do want to go ahead and get started on setting it up. I got the timer at Walmart. I checked on Amazon and they were about the same price. And so I went ahead and purchased it at Walmart. I did pick up this hose, which is a 100-foot hose to go from the faucet all the way behind the chicken coop into the couple of beds that I want to get set up on irrigation. And then I also have this 25-foot soaker hose, which is for my smaller bed. I've got 2 lead-in hoses for the distance between the beds. And then I've got another couple of 50, I think these are 50-foot each, flat soaker hoses. I purchased these on Amazon. I got these at Walmart. This came from Amazon as well. But I want to go ahead and get this set up. All right, this is my 100-foot hose. I'm going to get this hose hooked onto the timer, and it's going to stretch all the way behind, down this side of the fence. So it's going to go down this side of the fence, behind the plants, all the way behind the chicken coop over there, and then it's going to come out on this side of the chicken coop to where those beds are. There's a cucumber bed there, and then next to that cucumber bed is my pepper bed. This bed that's in the back, the one that's directly next to the chicken coop, all right, so these are the 2 beds that I want to get on the irrigation. This is my 8-foot trellis bed that I use for cucumbers, pole beans. I got a couple of eggplant in here. And then this bed here on this side is the bed that has most of my peppers in it. And so I want to get this. I know peppers don't need too much water, but I still don't want them struggling for water. Plus, I plan on putting maybe a couple of determinate tomatoes in here for the fall. And so I want to get some irrigation set up on this bed as well. And like I said, from there, I'm going to run this hose all the way down this side. meet it behind the chicken coop. You guys should be able to see me pop back up in this area right here somewhere. Perfectly at the end of this bed where I'm going to start my irrigation. Because the peppers fell off, I can save the seeds from these. Whew. Alright, so since this bed is not as wide as this bed, it's just as long, it's just not as wide, I ordered the 25-foot flat soaker hose for this smaller bed. And so I'm going to start at the other end. Let me see if I can bring you guys down there. I also have these landscaping staples to kind of hold it in place when I put it in the bed. This is not enough to finish the project. I know I'm definitely going to have to order some more, but I got these from Amazon as well. I think they were probably around $7.99 for 50 staples. But that's what I'm going to use to secure the soaker hose. All right, so got the landscaping staples, got my lead-in hose, which I'm going to use down at that end to stretch it to this end of the bed, and this one will be attached to this hose, the water hose. So you just attach these on this end. Where the space stays there. And I'm just going to zigzag this hose up and down this bed. And I'll secure it with the landscaping staples a little later. I want to bring this in here. On the plant, because you want it delivering water directly to the roots. Alright, so I got this hose hooked in. I didn't have to use too many more of the landscaping staples. It laid pretty easy, and I need to put an extra one. Alright, so this bed is done. What I can do now is hook the leader hose which is this one. This is the lead-in hose. Hook that to the other end of the soaker hose and start a 50-foot hose in this bed where my peppers are. I don't know, it's looking pretty scanty. I might want to use the 50-foot hose. Anything to cut with. So this is my lead-in hose. It's got 2 female ends. So it comes with an attachment where you can make it a male. That way it connects to the female. Let's take this off and see which end this is. Yeah, this is a male end, so we shouldn't have to use the attachment. You can attach the female end here. That's done. Run this hose right over here to the pepper bed and attach the 50-foot. So I'll be attaching this 50-foot hose and running it through the bed. It is a lot easier when the beds are empty to add this. And so what I'm adding it now for convenience, but what I'll probably end up doing is once I pull all of my summer stuff out and it's time to plant fall crops, I'll go ahead and put the hose in the way it should be. But for now, I just want to make sure this bed is getting some type of irrigation to it, because I'm not going to be standing out here in 100-degree temperatures trying to get my beds watered, and I'm not going to be out here trying to water at 9 o'clock at night, because that's the best time to water. And so I wanted to get this hooked up. Taking my 50-foot hose, running it through this pepper bed. I can't really get you guys a close-up because the beds are so close together. I'm going to try to move to an angle where it's easier for y'all to see. Turn this thing. Oh, look at that cicada. Alright, so as I was saying, once you get your first bed hooked up to the leader hose, you can take other 50 foot or 25 feet, whichever however many feet you decide to use on your bed, and you can just run it through the bed, the next bed. You run it through going zigzag, or you can run it up and down. It's up to you. I'm gonna run mine zigzag, and it'll end down there. And actually, I should have ran it the other way. That way, I would have the option to hook it to one of these beds right here. That way, I don't have to worry about watering those beds. But it's already in there. said, this process is a lot easier once when there's no plants in the bed. This is something that should have been done earlier in the year, but I wasn't sure on which process I wanted to use. The bed, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up to hose. So this goes inside of the bed. Run it down the middle. Bring it back down the bed again. All right, because both of these are females, I did have to use the accessory that came with it, which is that little connector that's a male connector. So I'm gonna connect the hoses. I'm gonna connect the soaker hose to the lead-in hose using the male connector that came with the set. And once this is done, all that's left now is to set the timer up, and it should automatically water every day at that time for a set amount of time. I believe I'm gonna set it probably for around 40 minutes. So let's go back to the timer. All right, so I already have zone 1 set. I think it's set for 8 o'clock every night. I don't want them running at the same time because I don't want the water pressure to be too low for both beds to get, for all 4 beds to get what they need, or 5 beds. And so I'm gonna set this one probably for around 9 o'clock at night. So it's on auto already. I wanna go to set clock. The clock is set. It says 17:48 right now. Ooh, my nails are filthy. And I want to go, actually what I do, I want to go back to auto. I want to hit zone. That's zone 1. That's zone 2. We want it to set how often is every day, okay. How long is 40 minutes. You know what, let's go, that's the hour. Okay, let's go for 45 minutes. Then the start time, I don't want it to be at the same time. I want it to be an hour difference, so we're gonna set it for 1900, which would be 9 o'clock. So, okay. Clock is already set for 17:49. And we put it on auto. So zone 1 will start at 8 o'clock. Let's see if the irrigation is running, whether or not I'll set the timer right. And we got action. I just heard it turning on. So you can see it dripping from the hose. It is now 8:10. It's gonna run for 45 minutes. So it'll stop at 8:55. And then 5 minutes later, zone 1, which has my other beds on it, will start. So at the time, the 25-foot hose did seem like a good idea, but it's not getting the bed wet enough. I want it to run up and down the bed. So I'm gonna eventually replace this one, probably sometime this weekend. I'll replace it with a 50-foot hose so that it covers more of the area. Beans don't need a lot of water anyway. So if this bed is okay for now, but it can wait a couple of days until I upgrade it. But that's it. Easy irrigation setup. I appreciate you guys for tagging along. I just wanted to bring you guys along with this easy setup of irrigation. For those of you that don't have irrigation set up, this is an option for you. If you find my content interesting, I'd appreciate it if you could like, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.